A little over 2 years ago, I came to you and I asked you for your help because I wanted to make a Jazz Vespers album.
I believe that jazz enables us to tell the story of both the good times and the bad times in life. And that's why I put together a Jazz Vespers project. In 1964, Dr. Martin Luther King visited England and he spoke here at Methodist Central Hall, Westminster. So I need your help to make this Jazz Vespers album happen. I already have the musicians lined up. Juliet Kelly is going to sing on the album. All the guys who have been part of the Jazz Vespers project are going to take part in it. And I'm thrilled that the poet Malcolm Guite is going to read one of his sonnets. I've been touring with Malcolm around the UK, and we also did the Edinburgh Fringe, and I've used some of Malcolm's poetry as part of the Jazz Vespers set. I really am so enthusiastic and so thrilled that we're in a position in 2016 where we can get this Jazz Vespers album recorded. We have top-class studios. I've even been talking to Abbey Road about recording it there, but I can't do any of that unless I have your support.
I was so thrilled that so many of you just gave little bits of donations, £10 here, £15 there, £30 there, which enabled the album to take place in an incredible studio. We're using Air Lyndhurst engineers and being mastered by a Grammy award-winning engineer, Rob Hunter. Just a few weeks ago we were featured on BBC One as part of their Songs of Praise broadcast. They feature the Jazz Vespers. We've now got an invitation to go to 5 UK cathedrals to perform Jazz Vespers. The thing is, these cathedrals, they don't have a lot of spare cash flowing around. It costs a lot of money to keep these big old buildings open, and they don't necessarily have the budgets to be able to put on jazz. We want to offer this as like a free event, as kind of an open event so that anybody can attend it. And with that in mind, we need some help. One of the venues is Edinburgh Cathedral, where I was for Edinburgh Fringe Week 2 years ago as part of Passion with Claire Henderson Davis and Malcolm Guite.
The music is almost what moves the piece around the building. It moves the piece along, so the piece begins with the music.
The music side of the Passion, it's all improvised, so there's kind of a great freedom in that, you know, you're not having to actually play the same thing every night, but also as well that's a real responsibility and a real fear sometimes, because you're never quite sure if the muse is going to show up, if you're going to be able to play something, because you're starting with a blank piece of paper every night.
The cathedral want to go ahead, we want to go ahead, we want to go there. It just costs over £2,000 to get up there, to get 6 musicians up to Edinburgh to perform for the weekend and back again. Now, we hope to be able to defray some of that cost from donations at the door and for selling CDs, and the cathedral are going to try and put a little bit towards it. But I wanted to come to you guys and see if you could help us get to Edinburgh this July for the Edinburgh Jazz Festival with the Jazz Vespers project to perform 2 concerts. Now, we want to put on 2 events over that weekend. The first, on the Saturday evening, the 21st of July, would be very similar to what we did at Methodist Central Hall, Westminster, where we put on an event which focuses on Dr. King's speech on jazz, exploring suffering and lament and a new hope through the music. And we want that to be an open and free event, but we need your help in order to make that happen. The second is to actually perform a Vespers with settings from Jazz Vespers in New York, in Berlin, and also some of our own music that we've been doing in London, in Edinburgh, as part of the cathedral's worship for that Sunday. We then hope to be able to hop to Edinburgh Airport, fly straight back to London, because everybody else, you know, people have gigs and jobs and things to be back to on the Monday morning. Everything is explained below in the description. Kickstarter has been so amazing for me to enable 2 projects recently to take place, the Jazz Trio album and the Jazz Vespers, and I would love it if we could get Jazz Vespers to Edinburgh for the Jazz Festival, which would then kickstart other funding which would enable us to go to elsewhere. Finally, I have a very exciting project via Jazz Vespers, and that is I've been invited to Berlin on the 11th of November this year, so the 100th anniversary of the end of the First World War, to be in Berlin performing with German musicians as part of a recognition of that event and how important it is that we move forward. Whilst we remember, we move forward in a sense of solidarity together. I'm going to talk more about that in future weeks, but please check out the description below. Go to my YouTube channel if you want to know more about the project, and if you'd like to know in more detail what you can do to help, please feel free to drop me a line at any time. Thank you very much for watching. I'm really looking forward to getting this project funded.